you little shithead.
Yep.
The genesis of McGillicuddy.
The ultimate warrior.
Look at the adjective. Play.
Can't run to fat.
Finally, The Rock has come back home.
I'm back.
The boys are back in the saddle on a different platform, so the Atomic Drop Show rides again on YouTube.
Did you miss me?
All right,
How
cut the
I
music.
have missed you.
You can talk a little wrestling with us by calling 803.
No, we're not doing that. Not today.
Whoa.
Not today.
Whoa.
No rainbow, no unicorn, no fuzzy bunnies. None of this happy bullshit today.
What's going on, dude?
No. I'm unhappy. I'm a little pissed. I gotta get some shit off my chest here, real quick.
By all means.
I don't know about all of you out there who listen to this show, but I have been a wrestling fan since 1995, 1996. I've stuck with the product through thick and thin, through gimmick after bad gimmick, after every high, every low. And I used to, back during my high school days, always took pride that I stayed up all through a Monday Night Raw and then still somehow clamored to crawl myself out of bed and still make it into school for those 4 years. Those were some great years. 1998, 1999, 2000, class of 02 right here. Proud of that. Yeah, a lot of highs, a lot of lows right there. Attitude era, going into the ruthless aggression era. The NWO came back. Shawn Michaels came back a couple times. Saw the rise and fall of DX. Saw The Rock come back again during all this. I've always been loyal. I'm a very, very loyal man, Kyle. And
Yes, you are.
And I don't know what I am doing anymore.
What are you getting at? What do you mean?
I'm just at a complete loss of words. And with I don't understand the wrestling product right now of WWE.
Okay.
I love WWE. I love it a lot. It's always been there through thick and thin. Probably one of the longest relationships I've ever had with anybody. And I am of merchandise. Christ, we do a podcast about it too. I don't know how much more love I can give it. I've gone to WrestleMania. How many people can say that they've been to WrestleMania a couple times?
I can't even say that once. So good on you.
And I have never seen a product so unorganized this side of the fall of WCW. It is 100% complete, controlled chaos. Nobody knows what the living hell is going on anymore.
That's true.
It's a complete cluster. You have fans show up, you have fan leave. You have Vince saying, "I'm going to have two people take over as head producers or head consultants or whatever the hell Bischoff and Heyman were," and now you have one. What's the hell's the purpose of all that? If you're just going to have two and then you get rid of one, I don't. Why put somebody else underneath all that stress? Why do you claim that everything is because of the fault of the fans? Because it honestly isn't the fault of the fans. It's honestly the fault of one individual. And we all know who that. I am a big supporter of Vince. And lately, I question everything he has done. Everyone would question what he does within the wrestling business. Because that everybody wants to see their wrestler become top guy. But this right here is a little bit more. It's a little bit deeper than just that. I question everything he has done thus far in 2020. I love the XFL as a football fan, not as a wrestling fan. You can even go back and check on previous podcasts. I love the XFL as a football fan. Thought it was amazing. Still do. Was told many, many different times that the XFL could be funded all the way through 2022. There is enough money to take care of it. And then it goes bankrupt. Then there's a lawsuit going on between Vince and Oliver Luck. Then there is a mass exodus of personnel and talent and producers. They are now all gone. Granted, some of them are still getting furloughed and brought back. All right, that's cool. I'll even possibly give a pass to Drake Maverick. I love Drake Maverick. I think he's a hell of a performer. Us short guys got to stick together here.
Absolutely.
And I'm questioning the firing of George Burroughs and Mary. I forget her last name, but
it's Michelle.
Michelle.
Believe. And George Barrios, but yes.
George Barrios. Thank you. They were probably the left and right anchor of the ship that was being steering of WWE.
Absolutely.
And they kind of just got booted off to the side because one man just refused to adapt. He is stubborn. He likes what he likes. And obviously we cannot change what he likes. The only time I've ever seen it changed that changed the wrestling landscape for a hot minute. It was a great moment in professional wrestling when the fans actually told WWE that this is what we want. This is what we need. This is what we are going to do. We want to see Daniel Bryan get over. We want a new, fresh face. And we got it. Only time that has ever virtually happened. Has it happened since? No. Have we gotten it, though, eventually? Yeah. What did it cost us? It costed us, example, The Fiend Bray Wyatt in a Hell in a Cell match, putting on perhaps one of the worst performances of eternity. That is the epitome of burying and crushing two individuals in one night without even trying. It was sickening watching that match back in October. Stood right here in this room, actually, laying down brand new flooring, watching on my laptop. I remember stopping what I was doing, watched that match, and I seriously said, what the living fuck did I just watch? That was complete and utter garbage. Despicable. Completely apprehensible that this was what we were considering professional wrestling at this point in time for WWE. Agree with the fact that they got rid of the Revival. I am a Revival fan. FTR or fuck the Revival, whatever it is. At the moment, I can't think straight.
Sure.
They are a very solid, hardcore, old school tag team. And they did not listen to the concerns of what they had. And I've listened to the two podcasts that they've done. They've done one with Jericho and they did one with Cornette. And listening to them, it's sad because all they wanted to do was elevate the tag team division. And I believe that is what WWE needs, is a strong tag team division. Men or women, doesn't matter. They both need to be strong. And just watching them do old school ground and pound style wrestling, it was refreshing. It was what I enjoy of wrestling. I like the old school ground and pound wrestling. I like watching Daniel Bryan do his ground and pound. Drew Gulak, I've said them numerous times, sat there, hell of a technician. I love tactical wrestling. Kurt Angle sat there, could beat you 5 ways from Sunday. I love that style of wrestling. It makes you think. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It tells a story. There has been no storytelling in any way, shape, or form within WWE. WWE has not been keeping up with its promise of, we're going to let you, the fans, decide what we want. No, that was a line. That was a bullshit line. Complete and utter straight up fucking bullshit that they fed us. We bit into it for 2-3 weeks. After that, it all went back to normal. Why? Because one man didn't want to let go. He didn't want to change. He wanted to stay the course, tell us how we are going to like it, and this is how it's going to be done, whether we like it or not. Granted, no more authority figures. Yeah, I haven't seen one since. But we all know who the true authority figure is. And that's Vince. And don't get me wrong. Again, I said this before. I love Vince McMahon. I believe he's a hell of a negotiator. He is a hell of a businessman. He can strike oil. He is the prime example of he could put his hand inside of a fucking pig shit and pull out a brand new ham sandwich wrapped in cellophane. He is a amazing businessman. However, his handling of this whole epidemic and cost-cutting measures and putting the talent at risk, because everybody now knows that there was a wrestler that tested positive and nobody knew what the hell's going on, and refusing. No. Let me take the back up. Wind up here. Having Kevin Dunn, producer, say you can't wear a mask, and if you wear a mask, you're not a real WWE fan. Well, fuck you. Fuck you, you fat fuck. Listen, health and safety is. Health and safety is your number one goddamn concern for the fans. That's what's going to keep you and your goddamn job alive, is the fans. So if you don't like wearing masks, then you should just shut the fuck up and get your ass out of there. Sell that goddamn stock that you've been dying to offload, just like everyone else within the company has, because God forbid something's going to go fucking wrong and they're not telling us. And get the fuck out and do a goddamn different job. Respect the fans. They're the ones lining your pockets full of that goddamn money. You goddamn idiot. You're a fucking moron. I don't understand what your goddamn problem is for not letting people wear masks and making them feel safe. Granted, it's your option, sure. But however, to go there and question the fandom, that is a low and disgraceful statement to make. Don't care how long you've been in the goddamn company. Don't give a fuck. You respect the fans that have given you everything. And what do? You just sat there and virtually just kind of spit back in their face. And now you have a wrestler that's with potential COVID? How do you look now? How do you feel now, you dumb idiot? Don't even get me fucking started anymore. You should know fucking better. What the hell is your goddamn problem? And then yet getting the testing that was a complete cluster? Testing that's going on through WWE right now. Complete and utter cluster. Nobody knows what's coming or going. It's complete chaos and pandemonium. Sure, maybe it got better throughout the course of the day and it got a little bit on track. But for a billion-dollar company that is on the stock exchange, don't you think they'd have their shit together? Especially when they now have fans returning. You were supposed to be this huge mega fucking flagship that everyone must turn to because it's the longest running episodic program on television. Well, great. What's going to happen when you have to sit there and cancel everything all over again? And you throw back on fucking reruns of 5 years ago pay-per-views. Tell me what you're going to do then. You're going to sit there, watch your ratings sink even more? Or are you going to sit there and actually do something about it? Put better protection in the stands. Take better care of your fans. Take better care of your workers or your independent contractors. Because by God, if they get sick and we find out, if we ever find out who it was, or if the whole locker room goes down, the government will not help you. You will get shut down. And that is not probably pure fact. That is pure statement. I don't understand how one company could be so blindsided, so greedy about just trying to turn over ratings and try to make a profit on television. I don't understand it. That your only main concern is to keep that television deal alive and running. And you know what? It's not. Your main concern is the safety of your fans. Every other day, I will sit there and look on the dirt sheets and the news articles and say, fans are returning soon. Fans are returning soon. Tell you the goddamn truth, I'm unsure if I even want to return to a WWE event. I would love to go out and be with the masses. If he catches this, if he has this COVID and he has asthma, he could potentially die. But yet I can't bring him in because I can't wear a damn mask. Because you decided that wearing a mask makes you lesser of a fan. Well, go fuck off. The safety and priority of my son is number one versus what the fuck you think behind that goddamn curtain. So let me tell you something, Kevin Dunn. You fat piece of shit. I think you're a disgusting individual. I hate your mindset. I hate that you are a twisted, sick son of a bitch who only cares about himself and the priority of entertaining the ratings and not caring about the people that lined your pockets full of money. That is not right. There is a special place for you in hell right now. If you are actually of getting ratings back is people not wearing masks. Go fuck off. I'm out. I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was just in time. Giving you a rant for the ages. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Atomic Drop Show. It has been a very heavy week in the world of professional wrestling. The big news to begin the week, obviously, was the greatest wrestling match ever. Because that just topped everything. But how quickly that changed from Sunday to Monday with the revelation that there was a positive COVID test in WWE. One of the Performance Center trainees, they have gotten it. I don't know who it is. And that's a shoot. I do not know who it is. There's stuff that I would like to say that I cannot say. All transparency, I was one of those few that was in the building on Monday when they taped Raw and other shoulder programming throughout the week.
And how was your experience?
Once again, I can't go too deep into it.
Did you enjoy yourself though? That's what I'm asking. Did you enjoy yourself?
I
don't care about what I said. I just want to know, did you have a good time?
I did have a good time.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Yeah. So there is, yes, live wrestling was awesome. In this particular setting, it was, it was unique because it wasn't like a regular Raw or SmackDown taping. There were, now they taped, Raw, SmackDown, main event, 205 Live. And so there were breaks in between, got some of the world famous WWE catering.
There you go.
Yeah, man. It was actually pretty good. I'm not even gonna lie to you about that.
What's on the catering?
So I think it was a stripped down menu, but they had, okay. So when you think of catering, you probably don't think this is going to be at the top of the list, but they had shepherd's pie. Now I know,
come on.
Now look, shepherd's pie. Like I think I've only had shepherd's pie like maybe 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
Like this might be the third. And let me tell you, this was delicious. This was awesome. And so I believe they contracted an outside company to do it, but they were on fire. They had I had cod, like fish, and they had like this this really awesome baked chicken that was fantastic. The veggies sucked. Like I hated their vegetables. Had rice, just had the fixins, man.
Wish you had the reload.
I really, really, really did. You know what? Speaking of reload, I actually tried something a little bit different because we, as much as we are all meat people here, we decided, Mrs. Cruz and I, we decided that we were gonna have nachos, but we weren't gonna use meat. I know it.
Cheese sauce.
No, never. We use shredded cheese, the only good kind of cheese there is. None of that saucy crap. But no, we didn't, like, we made nachos because, like, we normally put either ground beef or ground turkey in there. But we decided to have it with, and this sounds weird, with pecans.
What?
I know it sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous. I get it. When I first heard it, I was like, "Yo, that's weird." But we tried it for the very first time, and so you roast these pecans, and then you stick them in a blender, and you grind them all up until it turns into not a paste, but kind of just sure, like kind of pasty. But you add in all your flavors, all your ingredients, your taco seasonings. But me, man, I'm a big reload guy, so I had to throw in, had to throw in some of that packing heat, and I just busted that, like just busted the whole thing down with the packing heat, and cooked it, made ourselves some nachos, and it was magnifique. It was delicious, completely unexpected, but it's really, really good.
Good on.
If you're trying to cut down on your meat, pause. If you're trying to try something different that is just, like just a one-time only thing, it's not a bad option. I did not regret my Thursday night dinner, but it was spiced up directly thanks to Reload Rub. So,
That's what's up.
as always, if people want to get that Reload Rub, how do they get it? And how do they save a couple bucks on the way?
Go to reloadrub.com and use promo code Atomic Drop. Save yourself 10%. Do yourself a favor. Get reloaded. Reload your life with Reload Rub and Seasoning.
Fantastic. Cannot give a better pitch, a better plug than that. Joel and Stacy, y'all are awesome. So yeah, man, like I just back to the overall aspect of being there on Monday. Once again, there are certain things I cannot say. But I will say, because they didn't, because this wasn't part of the waiver, that we found out when everybody else did. Raw aired, and as Raw concluded, I looked on Twitter, and now I must reiterate that at the time, so Raw was not live this week. They completed it earlier on in the day. As Raw was airing, they were still taping SmackDown. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they didn't start taping SmackDown until just after Raw began. And so, what unfolded there happened, and I will let those shows air, and we can talk about it next week or some other time. But yeah, I get home and I get on Twitter just in time to see,
Just in time? Really?
hey, just in time. Absolutely. I get home and we see, this notice saying that there was a positive COVID test, from somebody in the WWE Performance Center, one of the contractors, if you will. And, yeah, they didn't let us know. We received correspondence about coming back to watch the tapings the next day, which were scheduled for Tuesday. Those were canceled, or no, not canceled. They were postponed until Wednesday. And in the last email correspondence I got, they they said that in order for us to be able to enter into the Wednesday taping, we had to come Tuesday night to the Performance Center to get our COVID testing, to make sure that we weren't positive.
Because who doesn't want to be positive? I'm a positive person. Power positivity.
I would rather not be COVID positive. That is for sure. My wife was tested, independent of what happened on Monday, and she came up negative, so that's good. I did not go get tested at the Performance Center on Tuesday night because I had no intention on going yesterday to yesterday's taping, and I did not. Yeah, legitimately, I don't know what happened. Who has it? I don't think it is necessarily our business to expose that.
No, it isn't.
But I do think that it is necessary for proper testing to be done, not just for the fans, like you were saying, which I completely agree with, but testing for the wrestlers, because yes, the fans absolutely pay our hard-earned money to buy tickets and to buy shirts, spend money on Shop Zone. I don't even think they call it Shop Zone anymore.
No, that kicking it old school.
Right. But just the idea of like we drive
the machine.
We drive the machine, but a large part of that machine are the actual employees and the contractors and all of the wrestlers, all of the production staff, and everybody else involved that work with the company. And
I mean, if I can interject for a second.
Sure.
It's also important to sit there, like Kyle may mention, it's also important, obviously, to take care of your workers and your facility and everybody behind the scenes too. I did not want to exclude them in any way, shape, or form.
Right. I mean, and so I once again, there's things that I cannot say, but I am happy to see that changes are being made.
Oh yeah.
I don't, just me personally, I don't necessarily, I don't know what the thought process was as far as postponing one day and thinking that was going to make a difference. That was part of the reason why I decided I wasn't going to go. Because, look, the full testing helps. I'm not exactly sure what kind of testing there was. I was not there. I read that they were doing the full nasal swab. I that's what I heard from, I read that from Alvarez or Meltzer or somebody else who was plugged in, I guess. But, just big structural change had to take place, and I didn't necessarily foresee it taking place after just one day. I am surprised that they let other, it was friends and family. Like, this was not a ticketed event. You basically,
Right.
Had to know somebody to get in. And, there weren't a lot of us. I think there was, I'm not going to give a number to it, but there wasn't a lot of us, from the outside that were let in. It was a very select few.
That's not bad.
No.
That's respectable.
No, right. Now, in their defense, they obviously had the big, sneeze hockey board screen, right? Or
Salad bar guard.
they had the salad bar guard, shout out to Sizzler. You have no idea what I'm talking about, right? Because I don't have scissors
I know.
out there, right?
I know what a sizzler is. I've just never been there.
Okay, gotcha. Bet. So yeah, they had that, and they had social distancing markers. That was cool. You know, that you know they and that's all I can say on the air. But there were other things that made me feel like there was knowledge, and there were people there who
Cared.
who did care, and certain people made people who might have been uncomfortable in that setting, they tried to accommodate those people who voiced concerns. As far as not telling people not to wear masks, I can't speak to that. I didn't walk in with a mask. That experience was not me. But if this indeed did happen, if this did happen, then I could see where this stems from. When there is and I use the word administration just not even in a political sense, but when you have a management structure that such as the one you'll find under Vince McMahon, and those people in power, just under him, when you have such a quirky guy like Vince, I'm sure you will have quirky people like a Kevin Dunn or Bruce Pritchard, or whoever is in charge, that are gonna tell you to do certain things. I mean, look, we've seen at shows, if you're wearing a quote unquote inappropriate shirt, no matter what that inappropriate thing is, whether it's competition, whether it's an AEW shirt, whether it is a shirt that has somebody who was on the ban list for a while, like a Hulk Hogan or like a Macho Man. We've seen
Benoit.
A Benoit. We've seen people in the past being given shirts to put on over their other shirts to portray or just as to not have certain likenesses on the screen. I think WWE, when you're a paying fan, I think there's a little more leeway you should have as a fan. I think for the people who were brought in this past week as family and friends, you didn't have to pay. It was like legitimately you know somebody, and if you were quick enough on the draw and you can get in, you got in. I think they have certain discretion, but I also don't agree with the notion of, again, it wasn't my experience, but if this did indeed happen, I think it's not the most responsible thing to say to somebody, again, if this did happen, that you can't do something that is going to make you feel safe just because you aren't a real fan, or because it wouldn't, quote, look good on television, or just whatever it is. Obviously, WWE has gone out of their way to not mention the coronavirus by name. They will not mention it. They will always kind of skirt around the issue. That is classic WWE speak. That is classic.
It's classic Vince.
That is classic Vince. That is in the playbook. And so maybe when if you see, a single person or a group of people wearing masks, it's going to call attention to the reality on the outside. And
Right.
to them, according to their playbook, if they don't want to communicate that, they might feel it is well within their rights, especially in this setting where where the fans didn't have to pay. You are brought in specifically as an extra, to come and sit. Well, no, because we stood the whole time. But to come in,
Respect for that.
I mean, like they had breaks every now and then, and and there were, scattered chairs here and there. But yeah, it was for the most part, man, it was a standing bonanza. And, and so because we were essentially extras, we were, they might have felt that we were just kind of at their mercy to do or not do whatever they wanted to do. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong, but I think that was their perspective. From what I saw, nobody necessarily felt or conveyed that they were uncomfortable.
Right. Well, then again, you also didn't know that somebody was running around tested positive too during that point in time.
But here's the thing, like I can like, just with all of the news that was floating around, just Monday night into Tuesday, nobody knew, like, because we were like we were in the same building as some of the performance center trainees as well. Obviously not all of them, but I don't believe anybody knew. Like, I don't believe a single person in that building knew. Now, the statement did say that the person that tested positive was last at the Performance Center on June 9th. June 8th or June 9th. But they weren't there that particular day. Obviously, COVID can travel and it is easily spreadable. So we don't know if one of the trainees had contact with this person within the last 2 weeks. I'm sure they did. But
Right.
But, just as the taping was going on, I don't believe for 1 second that anybody, the friends and family, the trainees, any of the wrestlers actually working the show, any of the production people, anybody, I don't think anybody knew until like well like deep into the taping. Now, I must say I left probably about an hour into the SmackDown taping. So I didn't even make it to the end of the night because it was just a very long day. And so we kind of just decided to duck out a little early. But yeah, in that time, when you see people saying nobody knew, legitimately nobody knew.
Oh, I believe that.
And I don't know if the office knew. It's a really crappy situation. I'm not trying to give praise to WWE or anything like that, because when I saw the news, I was quite upset.
Rightfully so.
But yeah, I just had to convey that, because it's just,
There's no silver lining.
I mean, so no, that's actually not the case, because the silver lining is that they're actually doing testing now, and I'm assuming that they're gonna do full testing pretty much anytime anybody enters the performance center, not just family and friends, but I'm talking everybody that actually works there. If that comes out of it, I think that is a net positive. Should it have been there all along? Absolutely.
Hell yes.
I mean, even AEW and, like, just the whole comparison thing, I hate it when fans do that. But, AEW, I believe they do the quick test, which I think might be the throat swab. They either do the throat swab or they might do the antibody test. It's still not perfect, but they had something in place kind of like just from the very beginning. In WWE, they they just didn't have that. So if they're gonna come back with the strongest possible testing that they can get, I mean, look, getting tests shouldn't be a problem. I mean, WWE was deemed an essential business from the jump by our dumbass governor. So I'm pretty sure testing can be made available for those people. Should it be readily available statewide? Absolutely. Should it be available citywide? Yes. That notwithstanding, more testing is a good thing, and you should always have the health and well-being of if nothing else. I mean, the fans should be a given, but if not them, then certainly the people that are your workers, from like everybody that steps foot in that building, whether they are wrestling personnel, whether they are production, whether it is the nice lady up front in the steel cage lobby, like whatever job you do, wherever it is you work in that building, you should have access to a test. You cannot be too careful with this thing. And if more testing is the end result because of this unfortunate positive test, then that is a net positive. It sucks the road that had to get here, but overall it could be a good thing, and an overdue thing, but a good thing.
I didn't even get into the PC stuff.
Sorry, you didn't what now?
That's something just completely different. I don't even want to touch.
I want to be completely upfront. Our viewers and our listeners are not hearing this, but I'm hearing these beeps through our voice
Connection.
software. I think
it's our connection. I will tell you. I keep saying it keeps reconnecting on my side.
okay.
So if I sound like I've been cutting out during everything, that's the reason why. Just because Skype's just being a bunch of dickheads right now.
Okay. Well. So it was clearly just because you're being too real, and the
Yes,
rant
pretty much. I'm getting censored.
so I didn't actually hear what you were saying. Did you say the PC stalker?
That's a God damn it! It happened again.
Yes, it did.
Performance Center stalker.
Yes. Yeah.
That's something I'll go on later about, but that just rolls into the week of complete and utter madness.
And that's not even touching what happened today, because wrestling is burning down today. All kinds of names, all kinds of allegations. it's it it's not good stuff that we're finding out, but some people are being exposed for some really, really heinous acts. People on the indie scene and people that are signed as well. So it has been a heck of like what is going on in wrestling today. I don't get it.
So at the top of the show, I was going to use this as my closing, but I think it fits now. I said that I have been in a relationship with WWE and professional wrestling since 95, 96.
Sure.
And I feel like all these years later, how many 20 plus years, it is now a toxic relationship that I'm in. I wanna still believe. I still want to keep watching.
Yeah.
And I know it's just not going to get any better. The only thing that has made it better for me personally is AEW. For how misorganized WWE is, that billion-dollar company, AEW has been sitting there outshining them in every sense of the form. Wednesday Night War be damned. I believe they, at this moment in time, they have a better product. How much you want to believe in that? Yeah, that's completely up to you, and you're entitled to your own damn opinion. But my opinion is, at this moment, they have the better product.
So look, I am a WWE homer through and through. But that doesn't mean that I can't recognize good programming. AEW is good. Are they perfect? Like a lot of their fan base kind of just seems to portray. Absolutely not. They make their mistakes and they have their flaws, and they have their flawed people, as evidenced by some of the things that were levied here on this Thursday. But to say they have a better show, I mean, look, that's all subjective.
Storyline wise, I've been feeling engaged. I've been able to laugh. It hasn't been. I mean, they actually act like it should be an actual wrestling program.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, they're doing the best to make it real and live. And what more can you want? I mean, I know you sit there, you pre-tape, you get it all in, but I like the fact that you have FTR comes out in their pickup truck, just like Stone Cold, and they drive it into the arena, just like Cody did before. Or that's a fun segment with Britt Baker and Big Swole.
Shot Swole.
Where she says, there you go. What's up, Swoley? And she goes, where to, Britt? Like, awesome throwback. That was cool.
Yeah.
Britt Baker's gold. I ain't saying that. I'm not a huge... Okay, no. I'm a Britt Baker fan. I think she carries that damn female division. She is the face of that division. Her and Tony Schiavone together are pure gold. And they are by far the most entertaining duo, right next to Jericho, the Inner Circle, and Orange Cassidy. I mean, they are... They're just... It's just... I can't even say it straight. I'm enjoying watching them more than WWE. And I've, like I said, been in a relationship with WWE since 95, 96. And this has just been something that I have needed. Something just different. Sure, you had your TNAs, and my TNA rants are quite legendary back then. But This is just a cut above the rest that I enjoy. It makes me happy. I Granted, is it up against NXT? And I like NXT. I sure do. But AEW's just got that charm that I've been craving. Just something different. I believe it or not, I absolutely adore the Blade, the Butcher, and the Bunny. I love that tag team. It's crazy and different. And Abomination, the female. I She just debuted this week. It was cool. It was different. Do I think that they could have done a little differently? Yeah, but it was something different. It was cool. I mean, Cody's Open Challenge. I enjoy that. Watching Jungle Boy go out there. Jungle Boy's the future of that freaking organization. Same with MLF.
MLF?
Or
MJF?
MFL? MJF, thank you. Sorry, I'm going cross-eyed. I've been drinking pretty hard. And
I couldn't tell, brother.
yeah. Oh, fun fact too. He has his own Cameo page.
Yes, and isn't he charging like 500 bucks?
$500?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
He actually did one. Someone paid the $500, and it was like a 7-second video of him just saying "go fuck off" and just shutting it down.
If
It was pure gold. I was so happy to watch it, and I'm glad I didn't pay for it.
you know, right? Like if you can get that work, if you can get money in that way, I can't blame you. I'm gonna judge the person who paid for it, but do what
They
you
knew
do.
what they were getting.
Yeah, that's true. Look, man, I can't, just on a presentation level, it's hard to compare, and you can create all kinds of excuses for WWE or for AEW or against AEW or against WWE. I think that it is something that it's different as compared to WWE. I still think, and I will maintain that AEW is basically WCW. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because WCW was extremely popular and it ran hot, very hot, red hot, for just in a general sense, just for a short period of time. But they are in this phase where they have a great group of talent. They have a mix of veterans and up and coming stars. They have a really good international presence. There are things that they can work on, but I think it's refreshing to see something that is, as close to the WWE level on American shores, because I think New Japan is incredible, but it's a different style and it doesn't carry over to everybody.
It's a different taste. It's a different cup of tea.
Right, it is. And so is AEW, but I think that AEW would be a little bit more palatable to other American wrestling fans. But yeah, it's look.
It's an alternative.
It is an alternative, and I will give that to them. I think, though, that we have to have a larger conversation at some point about the wrestling industry in general, because nobody right now is above criticism. Nobody is above, their flaws needing to be exposed. WWE's flaws get relentlessly, you know,
Magnified. They're under a microscope consistently.
absolutely. Shout out to Wade Keller.
That's
But
it's not.
yeah, I mean, yeah, like they constantly get it, and it's well deserved. AEW, I think they get it too, but typically it's usually to counteract the hate that WWE gets.
Example, Aubrey's lipstick on whenever she referees a match.
Sure.
I mean, God, that blew up for like a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, there's another aspect to that as well, and that goes beyond wrestling. That is like that's a sex issue, that's a gender issue. But yes, she's put in a prominent position, and it's yeah. So I don't know, man. These days,
It's weird.
it's
hard.
It's very, very
It's
weird.
hard to be a wrestling fan.
It is so hard to be a wrestling fan. It is difficult, man. It is.
I would enjoy it more if it was taken off the air.
Sorry, you would.
I would enjoy it more if wrestling was taken off the air. I would appreciate it more. I feel like when it's something that you can't have, but you need it. Kind of just like how Jimmy Z closed down for his garbage plates for a couple months, and then I didn't realize how bad I needed those in my life until they came back.
Wow.
Yes, I just made a reference to Jimmy Z's, but it's just wrestling needs a break. Yes, is it entertainment? Yes, did I say during WrestleMania that it was a nice distraction for 2 nights? Hell yeah, it was. It was the starting of the pandemic. If not, it was about a month in. It was a nice change. It literally felt like normal again. It felt fun. It felt like I was just kicking it. Oh, like it was just a couple months prior. But now, watching wrestling is now a chore. It is a chore that I don't want to do this side of folding laundry and putting away dishes. And that should not be wrestling. Wrestling should be edge of your seat excitement. Now, like I said, it's a chore to sit down and watch WWE product. I mean, NXT, yeah, I can get behind NXT. Main roster, though, it's all driven by one man. Well, now a man and a half if you count Bruce Pritchard, who was one hell of a yes man.
Always has been.
Oh yeah, how do you think he got 2 jobs?
Well, so I think this was a pretty good theory, that people like Paul Heyman, people like MVP, they were getting 2 separate contracts. They were on a performer contract, and then they were on the contract for whatever kind of backstage role they had. In MVP's case, he was also a producer, an agent, if you will. And then, for Heyman, he was still getting paid, to be Lesnar's advocate, as in addition to his full-time and a half job as Monday Night Raw writer. So I think there might be something to the idea of they just wanted to just pay out,
Cut costs.
Yeah, just cut costs, pay one check where they can. Now, why Bruce got that slot, I don't know. Again, I can't say too much, But I saw Bruce running around on Monday, and he
Trying to pick up the pieces.
he looked like the busiest man in the world. So so
Shout out to Matt Johnson.
absolutely, man. Yo,
To do the PodCon last year.
how's he?
Literally was running around looking like the busiest man on the face of the planet.
This is true, and yes, like that. If you could picture him during that PodCon, that is exactly what Bruce Pritchard looked like.
No. Poor.
Yeah, man, he was just running around just like crazy.
Sad.
Yeah, I mean, it really was sad. It really, really is. So, look, man, I have to confront this. I have to talk about it. Have you been on wrestling Twitter today, or been on?
I have not. I have been off of a majority of social media today, only because I've just been running around frantically all over Rochester.
You are a busy man, and I completely understand that. I totally get it. Well, so
Educate this man.
well, look, I don't know if you were a fan. One of my, and this might say something about my current taste in stand-up comedy, but I was a big fan of Chris D'Elia. And he is this comedian, has a podcast, but I knew him from the show Whitney on NBC and Undateable, also on NBC. I think now his latest role was playing this pedophile on the show You, which is on Netflix currently. And
Oh yeah, I remember. This is time sat there and watched that on Netflix.
yes, so news came out yesterday or the day before that he's actually a pedophile in real life.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. And so there was that. And then there were other allegations made, which I'm sure you heard about. Danny Masterson hide
Yep.
from that 70s show. You know, I don't believe his were for underage.
Don't mind me. I'm just browsing.
Okay, we're gonna try this.
Screen share.
Okay, I believe we are back. Not exactly.
And that is how I cured everybody's herpes.
Oh, well then. What a riveting story.
It was a page turner. Let me tell you, and I'm not going to tell that story ever again.
You know, one for the ages, and if you didn't hear it, I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, it was an Atomic Drop exclusive.
And an Atomic Drop Show live exclusive. Oh man. So I don't know, man. I guess we were getting too real and stuff. So
Had to shut us down.
I guess so. So
Thanks, Kevin Dunn.
no comment. So where was I? I was
You were talking about Danny Masterson.
Danny Masterson has three different women accusing him of sexual assault.
We lost it. It came back.
It sure did. I don't understand. I don't get it. I think I might have to delete and reconnect Skype. I don't know, but it's trash.
We're gonna keep trucking through.
We are gonna keep trucking through here, and hopefully,
Ever the professionals.
Now my computer did update. So yeah, it updated right before we went on the air. So that might have something to do with it. I don't know. Who knows with these Windows updates? It's ridiculous. But yes, so I did all that setup just to say that this goes beyond, just your everyday neighbor or, just the workplace, just in offices, in businesses. It goes beyond Hollywood, goes beyond, the acting scene, the music scene. It extends to the wrestling scene as well. There really isn't a good way to kind of segue or bring this up, but there's a lot of accusations, and yeah, I guess you could say it started yesterday with David Starr. Now, Justin, I don't know if you're familiar with David Starr.
No.
Any of his work. Yeah. So he's man, yeah, he has made himself kind of this martyr for wrestling, particularly indie wrestling. He has kind of made his name in Europe, in the British wrestling scene, just kind of in England, in Ireland, just all throughout that continent. But he was regarded as one of the more popular, one of the most booked indie wrestlers on the scene. And there were allegations that were explicit allegations from a former girlfriend of abuse. I am really hesitant to say the word, but sexual assault, and gaslighting and all kinds of stuff. And from there on, just a slew of different allegations. They've just come forward, and I want to. Sorry, because now my cat is crying at the door.
Meow.
It's that kind of night.
11 years in the business, ladies and gentlemen. 11 years we've been doing this. And let me tell you, it gets easier every night.
So, this isn't even some kind of expansive list. David Starr, Will Ospreay, Joe Coffey from NXT UK, Ligero from NXT UK, NXT Cruiserweight Champion Jordan Devlin has been accused.
Ooh.
Ring of
Maverick.
Huh? What?
Nothing. It's just nothing. Continue.
No. You can't be sliding these names in here. No. I can't let you do that, brother. Ring of Honor Booker. The Villain, Marty Scurll.
Ooh.
Now, these allegations go from from sexual assault to to molestation,
Jesus,
and grooming of underage girls and underage boys as well. We are talking wrestlers, we're talking promoters, and everybody is coming out under this hashtag on Twitter called Speaking Out, hashtag Speaking Out. And there are more people here. I was really shocked. Not shocked, but I was just really disappointed as part of this. Joey Ryan as well. Now I'm also seeing just more has come out since we've started the show. Wrestler that I'm familiar with from my days in California. You will not know him, Justin, but Super Beetle
Hey, can you repeat that one more time?
He goes by the name of Super Beetle. Also another wrestler from the West Coast that I am really sickened by. Swade Thompson. That man, uh, people that I've spoken with and people that I've communicated with and done business with, you know, nobody is above reproach. I think this kind of started as a British wrestling thing, and then it carried over to to the States because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people, male and female here, male and female. I'm going to. I mean, there's. Oh, geez. Oh, man. I guess you haven't heard any of this. There's an accusation of Stacy and Jim Cornette as well.
What?
Now I sense some disbelief in your voice there. Let me read a tweet from a person by the name of AKI Evolution. I don't really know his name, but that's what he goes by on Twitter. I've seen him pop up. I think he's doing like really cool stuff with the with trying to update games that have like the No Mercy gaming engine, and trying to like mod them to, so cool stuff like that. He said this at 7:14 p.m. Now this is 7:14 on June 18th, and it's a bit of a long thread, but I will try and be as quick as I can with it. He said, "I made a very vague post yesterday about at the Jim Cornette. In the face of current events, I feel the need to clarify and speak up. During my first year in the business, his wife, Stacy, attempted to groom me." Now I have to stop and ask, are you familiar with that term of what?
I am not.
So I'm probably gonna butcher this, but generally speaking, grooming refers to somebody who is older talking to an underage boy or girl, and basically kind of just teaching them things sexually, like what they like, just what the older person likes, what they what they.
Sounds like an extreme cougar.
I mean, that almost makes it sound light, but yes, it's basically just kind of just telling them basically whatever they want to hear to maybe just establish this connection, to establish this control over this minor in a sexual manner, so that they can exploit that relationship, exploit that power, that control, presumably when they turn 18. Now, some people don't wait,
It's
but
like R. Kelly now.
Allegedly. I always have to
Allegedly,
say
R. Kelly.
allegedly. I think we all know what's up, but yes, allegedly. Okay, so it continues on. AKI Evolution says, she approached via DM, sent me lewd photos I never asked for, implied protection from the Kentucky Commission, stating he was a family friend, and told me that she was going to fuck me as if I didn't have a choice. My experience with them is tame compared to others, though. When Jim was booking at OVW, if you wanted a contract or if you wanted to be on the show, you had to perform sexual acts on his wife, many times, with him watching. This has happened for many, many people. A close friend of mine was groomed and basically brainwashed by them for years. When he finally escaped, Stacy went to great lengths to not only terrorize him, but to actively try to have other wrestlers physically assault him. I was one of them. She sent me pictures that show tires of his that he slashed, and bragging about setting him up to lose his job, his apartment, even his car. All because he escaped an extremely toxic relationship and didn't want anything to do with them. Stacy bragged about being able to call the Kentucky Commission to give him, quote, targets, unquote. He was a family friend, and if she wanted, she could turn his attention to anyone licensed in the state to potentially hurt and sometimes even ruin their careers. When he says Cult of Cornette, it's because he has a history of taking advantage of greenhorns, using his power and position as booker for OVW in order to fulfill his and his wife's sexual desires. They use their place of power to hurt many, many people. No one wants to speak up because of his position in wrestling, but this is extremely common knowledge among OVW alumni. This will probably ruin a lot of opportunities in wrestling, and that's fine, but make no mistake, Jim Cornette is trash. He and his wife have made power plays in order to hurt many, many people. Fuck you, Jim. Fuck you, Stacy. You are scum. And in another post, he posted screenshots of some of the things that Stacy sent him, and they were explicit. And I would venture to say that if you are curious enough to do so, go to Twitter at AKI_evolution. That's AKI_evolution to view it all. View the thread, view the screenshots. It's pretty bad, man. It's bad.
Positive Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Positive Friday.
All right. So, on the Jordan Devlin front, because he is, I guess the true NXT Cruiserweight champion, however that works, but he's with the company, but he's currently, stuck on the other side of the world. He has been accused of physical abuse, and this is bad.
Keep them coming.
There are pictures. I'm not gonna put up the pictures because they're pretty bad. And I believe she's made her tweets protected, which I completely understand, because there's a lot of people that are attacking the accusers, and it's all bad. But there are lots of welts, and it doesn't look good. 3 hours ago, WWE issued a statement on Jordan Devlin. They said, "We take any allegation of this nature very seriously and are looking into the matter." Short, succinct, matter of fact, but doesn't really say a whole lot, because they said the same thing about Velveteen Dream, and there was no conclusion that I saw, no public statement of what ended up happening. I guess, right. Dream continued to appear on television, and that was that. But, yeah, this is bad. This is not good. Apparently, a source I'm gonna butcher his name. Tom Collahue on Twitter wrote that he was told that an emergency meeting has been called by WWE officials to discuss the accusations coming in against some of their NXT UK talent. We don't know necessarily what that means. Various UK talent have spoken up. Pete Dunne said, well, he only made comments about David Starr. I don't believe he said anything about Jordan Devlin yet, but either way, it's all bad. You know, I don't want to get too political. It's hard not to, but there is this call saying that all cops are bad. I will hold off on giving my opinion on that, but I think that generally speaking, that speaks to the system, and people end up being complicit by not doing what they can to stop that behavior and speaking up about those people in power and speaking up against those people that are abusing their positions. And I think that's where a lot of people are kind of falling on this, where you have people, like other male wrestlers who are coming out now and saying like, yeah, man, I've known for years. Well, sure, you probably can't name the names of the victims, but if you knew that there were people that are abusing others and that are, like pedophilia and, sexual assault and all this kind of stuff, and you have the power to say to bookers like, hey, nah, like, don't book this person because I know this is what's going on. I mean, and that is like just the bare minimum. I mean, not even talking about just going to any kind of law enforcement. I get that that's kind of up to the victims and things like that. That's a gray area. But there's a lot of people now just being like, yeah, man, I knew this whole entire time, and I just didn't want to say anything, or like it's been an open secret for years. While it's good to have this information out there, this information shouldn't be like, it shouldn't have to be shared in moments like this, right? Because this type of behavior shouldn't be going on. But hopefully the more that gets exposed, the less we'll find these people, and the less we will see these people, and the less they will be able to. My cat's at it again, of course.
It's okay.
Once again, it's that kind of night. Okay. Justin, can you take it from here?
Absolutely. What my cohort is saying is that he is a cat hater. He wants to get rid of all cats out there, personally. He never was a cat individual to begin with. So this is the word that he wanted me to preach out there. But regardless, it's been a couple shitty-ass weeks, months for professional wrestling as a whole. Nothing has gone right. Sports be damned. The only thing looking really good right now is, EA Golf. EA Golf, the video game's looking really good, and I don't play sports, so kind of just how it's kind of looking right now, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle, you back?
I am back.
There you go. But in short, what I was saying was wrestling as a whole sucks lately.
Yeah.
Life sucks at the moment. We're in June of 2020 with 6 more months left to go. So we have 6 more months of pure hysteria and hijinks and positivity coming. Hopefully almost every week now on Thursdays here on YouTube.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. But we will have to report things as they come in. But yeah, man, we hope to report nothing but positivity, because we need it. Lord knows we need it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I'm still at a loss, dude. It's just a...
Get better sometime. And there we go. We lost each other again.
Yes, we did. I don't understand it.
But we always find each other. We always find each other.
We always do.
Yeah, that's right. And we hope that you will be able to find us later, too. Make sure you search for us on Facebook, Instagram, The Atomic Drop Show. Also check out Potting Around Rochester, or PAR as I call it, where I'm on Facebook, Instagram, too. And you know what? Kyle, drop us a couple social medias if you want. Or a couple shout-outs.
A couple shout-outs? You mean like personal ones?
Sure. You gave a big one out to Big Swole.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, shout out to Big Swole. She's doing big things on AEW and her feud with Britt Baker. That is little big sis. And I love it a bit. And I hope to see her soon. Yeah, she's awesome. Look, I make no bones about it. I am tight with Isaiah Swerve Scott. That's one of my good friends. That's one of my good buddies. Shout out to him. Hope to see him on a future NXT episode or 205 Live episode coming up really, really soon here. So shout out to him. Shout out to my man Montezi, who is working on his new record, and he has a music video dropping this Tuesday, his birthday, actually. That's coming up.
Hey, happy birthday.
Absolutely. That's going to be awesome on the 23rd. Go to youtube.com/messagemontezi.tv, and he'll have a brand new music video, and that's going to be awesome as part of his new album. As far as me, I don't really have much else to promote. Just follow me personally at Behind the Mic 33. That's behind the MIKE 33. I don't know why I have it Mike, because that's not my name or anything. But yeah, Behind the Mic 33 on not on Facebook, on Twitter and Instagram. I'm never on Twitter. I'm never on Instagram. But if you want to follow, then go ahead and drop that follow information. Check out the Swerve City podcast. It is the video podcast that comes on every so often. Come and chill with us, hang out with us. Feel free to get involved in whatever way you see fit. Enjoy our show and try to find some kind of positivity outside of wrestling. For a lot of us, it used to be an escape, but these days it is not. Everything is divisive. The war with WWE and AEW, there is a divide politically. There is war and there's turmoil out in the world, out on our streets today. So find something that you love. Find something you can enjoy for yourself to help you have just a better go at life. Because these last several months here with this pandemic and just with the unrest the last month or so, there's been a lot of negativity. There's been a lot of heightened emotions. There's been anger. There's been sadness. There's been just a lot of negativity. So get some positivity in your life. Buy some bootios. Do something.
There you go.
Just do whatever it is you can to spread a little light. That's all I got. It's pretty late. I know you got to go to bed. I do too. I got to be up in like 3 hours. So we will talk again in 7, right, Justin?
And knock on wood.
Knock on wood. I got a couple right here. Yeah, boom, boom.
There you go.
Wood
There you
knocking.
go. All right. For Kyle Cruz, this is Justin Time, and also for Kyle's cat. We'll see you in 7 days.
That's terrible. See ya. This would be where we would play the outro music.
Yeah.